What's up, guys? We're back. It's another mini podcast episode, or I renamed it on the website to bonus episode, just so sometimes if it goes over length, then it doesn't really matter because I don't want to. There's no point of calling it a mini episode if it's like an hour long. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make any sense. So I just renamed it to bonus. But anyway, I don't even remember what episode we're on now. Honestly, a quick Google search. Freaking, I'm smart. I feel like it should be episode 5.
4. Okay, 5, yeah, because
we're on bonus episode 5. Yeah, we made 3 and 4. Yes, last week.
Because the last one we broke it into 2 episodes.
Yeah. So, starting off episode 5, we have both. It's the episodes were 7 and 8 of the documentary. We're gonna start with 7 first. First thing I want to say, the opening to there's an opening to every single episode of the documentary is Jerry Krause saying, first of all, he's saying the line, first of all, there is no backstabbing going on here, right? But this time it wasn't just part of like the opening scene, like it was they had a whole they showed the whole entire clip from it. I forgot what the reporter asked, but do you remember what the reporter asked or no?
I'm still trying to find exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the opening scene?
Yeah, it's the opening scene of documentary of the 7th episode. He says
Okay.
the line. He said the line is said in every single episode, but this time they actually showed the clip from it. Well, I can just explain it. It's fine. But
Okay.
some reporter asked him a certain question, right? And he got heated. So the first thing he said is that, first of all, there's no backstabbing going on here. You hear me? And he kept saying, "You hear me?" like 10. He said it like 10 times. Like he was dead ass angry at this dude for asking like whatever he asked. And like it's just so funny to like, cause he like, the thing is like I can understand like from a business aspect you want to keep your team going as long as possible, but like he's so hypocritical. Like he was so hard pushing his words saying there's no backstabbing, but like that's what he was doing. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about. What was it in reference to? If you
I
can
think
recall.
it was probably mostly toward Pippin, but I'm guessing it's in the this has to do with the entire thing of the first rumors saying that he's gonna fire the coach and then fire and then trade like the rest of the members besides like Micheal Jordan. Like I'm guessing because this is like the opening line to every single like episode, so it obviously if the entire documentary is up to the lead up of the last finals, it makes sense to be related to all those rumors and trades and shit like that. Like, so I'm guessing it's part of those, but it's just so hypocritical to be saying that. And then being so intent on making sure every single person, reporter, it's like not just like you just put out a statement. Like you're in the room with a bunch of reporters, and you want to make it known to them that you're not doing anything wrong, but really you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right after that, he said that little thing. The room is quiet. He said everything, and he just left. Like he's like he was actually pissed off. So it's just funny to think about.
And for some reason, like I guess that's the trait of people like him, where they're just like they just have to like overcompensate because they know like in their heart that they're really like just backwards and stuff like that. But like through all of this, the biggest highlight for me for this episode was more like as far as like Jordan's dad and how close they were. So like, what did you notice about them? Like, I just wanted to see like what's about the relationship.
Thinking back on it, just the fact that
You want me to go first? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
Okay, so I found that it was pretty like specific, right? As far as like Jordan being like being the whole like good kid coming in, where he's going into that room and he's like, oh, what are these guys doing? Like, I won't do that. And he's just walking out and all that. And like he has like his dad with him the whole time, and like his parents are like always right there and all that. It's like it it's it's kind of atypical, right? For especially like a professional athlete, where it was just like his parents just had such a big role in him. The
Mm-hmm.
championship pictures, and his dad is always there. Like that's something that's like that's not really talked about, but that's like really unique, and that adds to the impact of when you think about like his
Mm-hmm.
dad dying, right? When you realize like how close they were, because for me, when it was like his dad died, it was just like, oh, that's sad. Like this man's dad died. But when they're like that was his best friend, and he was just everywhere with him, that
Mm-hmm.
just like that kind of brings a context to it. Like, oh wow, this wasn't just like his like like his old father dying. This was just like his best friend and like his
Mm-hmm.
manager
Mm-hmm.
basically, and just like the you know what I'm saying. Just it was
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
devastating that would be to a player that was already getting tired of the league just because of
Mm-hmm.
like the stuff he had gone through, like the media, the pressure, and all that. Like it's a lot, man. And like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, if
And it's
anyone
like,
deserves a pass for from like having a meltdown, which he didn't have, and it would have been him.
mm-hmm,
Really.
mm-hmm. That's true. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. The thing is, I'm low key against like parents that second as like coaches and stuff,
Hmm.
because I don't know. I feel it's just like I feel like it's just because parents already have like this kind of sense of not like guiding you, but like it, and I know it seems kind of like wrong. It's obviously not every single parent, but it's like, well, they want you to do what they couldn't in a way.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
just like if they couldn't achieve a certain goal, but just like they want to
Hmm.
achieve a better lifestyle than they could.
Yeah,
So like I feel like specifically when it comes to like parent coaches, it becomes even worse because they push you even harder in a way, because like they feel like they can, and then they also feel like they're more responsible, and then they just think they're allowed to push you harder, you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly, exactly. I know exactly what you
But
mean.
the thing is that he didn't like second as that coach, like, because like seeing from like, oh, he's in every single picture, you can kind of think like, oh, maybe he's the one pushing him in a
Yeah,
way,
he's
but
intruding, right?
really yeah, like he's trying to like, he's the one like kind of pushing him to become better, but like it's not like, I mean, I worded that wrong, not pushing him to become better, it's like kind of like forcing him, I guess you can say,
Yeah,
intruding on what he's trying to do, because this is a grown man at this point. Like when it comes to like a high schooler, it's different, like LeBron with his son or Dwayne Wade with his son.
yeah,
When they're young like that, it makes sense, but like when they're old, it's like, they got their own freaking life to live. But
yeah. And I think that, right, that approach to parenting, now we're just getting into parenting on one, but it's just like that approach to being a parent leads to your kid wanting to reach out to you for advice instead of like them just being like, oh, I know what you're going to say. Because like when you hear Jordan, like he's like, it's getting to him and like he kind of wants to play baseball. And then his dad's like, oh, you wanted to play baseball? Like go for it, man. Like
yeah,
just
yeah,
do that. So
that's
like
what like
that's
that's
not like him coming to him and being like, oh, I always wanted you to play baseball. Go play baseball. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
It comes more like naturally of like Jordan just
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
like that's what
He was literally like literally like a supportive father. It was just like, okay, oh, you want to do this? I bet, go for it. He's like, oh,
yeah,
you want to quit basketball? I go for it. Whatever you want to do, as long as you like don't regret that decision.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
as long as you live your life. I
I
mean, it's
forgot.
obviously hard to live your life without like regrets, but like when it comes to stuff like this big, then it's definitely, you should definitely go for that.
Yeah, I forgot which comedian it was that made this joke, but there was like this joke about like I guess like father figures and athletes, and it was talking about how like LeBron has like a game from like from like a broken home or something, or just like a unstable environment, and it's just like he hits the ball really hard. And he's like, I just miss my dad. Like, why does he want to see me? And he just dunk it. And it's just there's like Michael Jordan who grew up with like both his parents, and it's just like a finesse layup where it's just like, oh hey dad, like I see you in the stand or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like a funny joke to imitate that. I found that funny. It was just like, but that is true though. Like Jordan definitely comes from like you know what I'm saying? Not the typical background that you hear for like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
African
yeah.
athlete.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like African American athletes, just a thing that like the same thing is how I felt about like the NCAA, like allowing players to get paid. It's like
Yeah,
they come from the environment where the sport of their choice is the only thing that will take them like far. So it's like
yeah,
they're kind of like pushed into doing that. And especially, it's like the thing where their parents, like, in that situation, they would not they wouldn't want to, but they could be forced to push them to continue doing the sport because that is even their livelihood. But like in this situation, it's just like his dad's like, no, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And then
Side note, I like how the NCAA, I mean, that Zion's like former agent just said like, "Hey guys, by the way, Zion took money," and then everyone's like, "Cool, bro, cool story." Like no one cares. Like who would care that Zion took money in college right now? Like who literally cares? Who gives a crap?
why is he
No one
even
cares.
saying that in the first place?
Exactly. It was because she's bitter and she got spidey and she's suing him, and I feel like it was like something where like you threaten to do something unless they like settled with you, and then they didn't settle, so it's just like I'm going to tell everybody you took money when it's like no one really cares.
I feel like in that situation, for some reason, they never look down on the student for doing that because they're a kid, and obviously, like, they're easily influenced. But like, them taking money isn't like really. I feel like it's not that big
There's
of a
nothing
deal.
there's nothing like wrong with it though. There's nothing wrong with being compensated for providing
Yeah, exactly.
revenue
And
for the program.
entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with how many millions of dollars Zion made Duke. Zion made President Obama come to a Duke game. So
Oh,
President Obama didn't come to see the coach. President Obama didn't come to see the third player on the team or the fourth player on the team. He came to see Zion Williamson. So it's like, come on now.
yeah, not you, RJ Barrett. Fuck, no, I'm joking. Shut the fuck up.
It was got a fast button hate on. Fuck RJ Barrett. Sorry, now let's not do it. He seems like a good guy.
He seems like a chill dude. He didn't do nothing wrong. We're not
Yeah.
gonna curse him out. We better
Imagine
than
like
we better than Knicks fans. It's okay.
yeah, but let's see what else do we have. Uh,
Oh, we can go back to. Oh, so now the rest of the episode was just like the same stuff that you were talking about before, like
yeah,
the scandal and the conspiracy theories. See,
yeah.
I thought this was a small thing. I didn't
Oh
realize
yeah,
that this was like a this is a widespread public conspiracy theory.
yeah. And the shock factor of it when I saw it. Imagine me, because I'm like, okay, I didn't think there was any way they would include that in the documentary.
And it
This
was
shows this documentary is literally very complete. It tells the whole story, which is crazy. I was not expecting that to actually be a part of the documentary, like for
like
them to go into it.
a part of like conspiracy theories. This is like for at the time, this was definitely probably like Illuminati levels, like type
Yeah,
of shit.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
the the thing is, it's so weird because they were talking about it, and I didn't. It was like Jordan's dad went missing for 3 whole weeks, found dead in
Yeah,
a creek, his entire car robbed. Like
yeah.
it's like
You
crazy to
can
think about.
I mean you can see why people would think that like if the biggest like person in the country just like something like that happened and there was already a building narrative against him that he's like a degenerate gambler who's like in it with like because remember that whole thing came out with the guy that got arrested that they said he used to gamble with, and then
Mm-hmm.
there was like a whole case. So then there's like you like people are starting to say like oh maybe he has like some kind of like uh
Connections and shit.
connections. Yeah, it's like the wrong people, and people know that he's like a passionate gambler, and people
Mm-hmm.
already are disapproving of it. So like how like fitting with like something that tragic or like and that's kind of a crazy thing like the story of him like pulling over because he was tired and then like a gunman coming and killing Michael Jordan's dad in his hometown like it's kind of like wow like
Mm-hmm.
this
Especially
that would
since
be
it
a
was
lot for people to fathom.
it was like in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah, basically they said
Because they didn't find any like he was missing for 3 weeks, as in they didn't even like did they even know he got robbed or anything like that?
they
All
didn't
that
even
was found.
know where it happened. That's the thing, because they didn't even know if he got on a plane or not, like to come to Chicago, because it happened in North Carolina, and it was right
Mm-hmm.
before he was supposed to board a plane when he was
Mm-hmm.
coming back from visiting some like friends, like somewhere
Yeah,
far
yeah,
away.
yeah. He was chilling with them or whatever.
Yeah,
Like that's crazy. And the thing is, there's a lot of holes, obviously, because there's a lot of stuff you can't find out anymore. But then it's
yeah,
like one thing is if he got like say he got robbed, right? The thing is
yeah.
his entire car was ransacked, but then why was his body the only one that was thrown away?
What do you
You know
mean
what I
thrown
mean?
into the?
Like it's like his body isn't the only evidence. The entirety of the car is evidence too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like getting rid of the body. You didn't get rid of the car. So it's like it's, you know what I mean? It's like,
Wasn't it? But it was kind of well. I mean, it was found after a while because obviously you can't just like hide a car that people are looking for. But like they did stash it into like the woods and stuff
did
as
they?
best as they could. Yeah, they
Oh,
said the
okay.
car was found in the woods, which is why it took so long for
Oh,
anyone to
okay.
find
Okay.
it.
I
But
thought I just left it somewhere. Okay. I mean, I guess
yeah,
that
but
doesn't do much.
you can see where it's just like they didn't even take the car; they just took like the speakers, and it's like you killed Michael Jordan's dad and didn't even take the serious, would
Yeah,
just be like,
it's like,
whoa, like yeah, like
and like you think like realizing that I'm guessing most people knew it, like who Michael Jordan's dad was at the time. Michael Jordan was probably the
yeah,
biggest celebrity of all time.
exactly.
Like
And he's
it's
driving that car.
impossible.
You don't. That car wasn't a common person's car. If you saw
Yeah,
that
yeah,
car
yeah.
and he somehow resembled Michael Jordan, you knew that was Michael Jordan. And it was like, come on. That's why That's why it's just like, was it a hit? Was someone trying to send a message to Michael Jordan like, hey man, don't play with us? Like I don't know.
Oh
It,
yeah, this thing definitely looks like this doesn't look like somebody like some random person's car.
Yeah, but it's just it is still unfortunate that like we don't have any definite proof of it, and the fact that he had to go through it where people were just like blaming him for his dad's death. Like
Yeah,
if it
that's
had
just
nothing to do with that, then it's just like that would be very like unfortunate to
that's
go through.
that's literally the craziest like that's just so messed up. Even considering how like screwed up the media is in the first
Yeah.
place.
Mm-hmm.
You have the best basketball player in the entire planet, and the thing you want to do is when you guys are already screwing him over by like the amount of shit you talk and to how much you already know he hates the media and how he's like starting to hate and get tired of basketball. At this is like the death of anybody close to you is like, you know, a difficult time, but this is your dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is your day one. This is your pops. You know, he didn't just die of like natural causes, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the boy got murdered, and the thing you
Yeah.
do is say, "Bet it's his fault." Like he's gonna want to,
Yeah.
like he's gonna. Of course, he had the right to
Yeah.
want to
If you're gonna
freaking
say
leave
something like that, you
basketball.
need to have evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt, not like rumors and just like you know what I'm saying, just
Yeah,
like
not even barely rumors.
speculation.
It's
Yeah.
just like all the head scratching. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
it's
but
just
so we don't dawn on like that like too much because like it is kind of gloomy.
yeah.
Then goes into Bo Jackson slash MJ, huh? The baseball player Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your impression of Jordan as a baseball player?
See, I might be a little biased only because I
Mm-hmm.
recently started watching a baseball anime. So,
Okay.
like, it's just a thing with me. If I watch something for a while, like, I'll get into it. So, like, now I'm like, hey, maybe, okay, now I'm gonna pick it up. But now I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I'll buy like a mitt and like a ball and, you know, just screw around with it. Until I found out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
freaking mitts can cost up to $250. Like,
Yeah.
damn. But like, yeah, boy had moves. He seemed kind of like what's it called? A little like, you know, when batting in the cages, he seemed a little, you know, off. But like,
Yeah.
I felt like it worked. You know what I mean?
The thing is, he hadn't played baseball since he was 17. He's been a
Yeah, yeah,
professional
yeah.
basketball player for that long. And honestly, out of all the sports, like technically, baseball is the hardest sport by far because baseball doesn't care about how big or strong or athletic you
Yeah,
are. That
no.
has no bearing on your ability to hit a ball coming at you 90 miles an hour. It
Hmm.
has like it's literally all about focus, hand-eye coordination, and like you have to
And
you. There
and
is
speed really.
yeah, and there
There's a
is
lot of
really
speed when
no
it comes to it.
there's no taking like that much time off. And remember, this is Michael Jordan, right? So a lot of times when prospects come out of like high school and college, they're put on these little farm teams, right? And there's like a lot of steps to even making it to like the majors. Like the Major
Hmm.
League Baseball is the most popular brand of baseball, but it's literally it's one in so many different leagues. and like the owner of the Bulls was also the owner of the White Sox, right? So he accelerated
Oh,
his process and put
yeah,
some
yeah,
into
yeah.
like the second level farm team, which is like right before the minors and like that right before the majors. So it's like he wasn't even supposed to be there based on like credentials. But they said that he started off on a 40 hit streak where it was just like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he started off really hot, which is kind of crazy
But then
to
they said, but
fathom.
then they said that he went on like like a loss streak. But then he came back from
Yeah,
the
no,
whole
no,
hit streak.
that was the peak of him. He didn't go. He was horrible after that. Honestly, he was pretty good. But they said that there was a lot of people saw potential in him towards the end. But it's just going to play another sport is such a difficult thing, and when it's baseball, that's like near impossible. That's why Bo Jackson is probably like is such a great athlete where he was just able to just do both, like leave the NFL and then go play baseball. Because baseball is something you have to work on constantly. So like
Yeah,
that
yeah, no.
challenge, but that goes into again like people saying that like the only reason Jordan gambled was because he was so good at basketball that it bored him, and he wanted a new challenge. Do you think that that has something to do with him actually going into baseball too, though, you
Mm,
know to find a challenge that he wouldn't so easily succeed at? Because
honestly, I can believe that only because when you're playing at such a high level,
yeah,
even when you're playing right now, it's like a thing that when you it's like a very strong level of motivation just
yeah,
trying to get better at a sport. You know what I mean? It's a like
exactly.
even with us playing like it's not like we even play at the college level. We play on like the just a recreational, after school with the homies type of level. But like
Yeah,
even us trying to get better and that motivation is still pretty high. But playing at
yeah,
this high of a level and like knowing that you're the best player at something, I could understand that it would get boring. Starting over from scratch is definitely like it's definitely I think it would be exciting, and for him at that time, I think it's definitely something like large enough of a change to like shift his focus from his dad to like himself. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a great point. I love that point. That would consume him where he wouldn't have
Exactly,
too
exactly.
much time to dwell on that.
Cause
That's
like
true.
imagine him playing basketball after like his dad just died. That's the first thing in his mind. Like he even said like he hasn't thought about basketball. Like when his dad like first died, he's like, I haven't thought about basketball. I'm not thinking about it now. I haven't even thought
Yeah,
about it since the last time I've played. Like I
yeah,
not thinking about it.
yeah,
Like and then being already being the best player, he's gonna be destroying people, and he wouldn't even have to think about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's like if there's no challenge for him, he definitely can't take his mind off of what already happened.
Yeah. So now we go into remember Sports Illustrated posted that article. I mean, not the article, the cover of their magazine saying that like Michael Jordan is basically shit at this, and that
Yeah,
like he
and that
like
there's
they
he's
just bashed him
disrespecting.
and went at him when he had like so many like covers and just like interviews with them and all that, and then he swore that he'll never do another Sports Illustrated interview or cover for the rest of his life. And to this
He's
day, he's never been featured on that magazine ever again. Can you believe that? That dude has
damn.
a crazy grudge, man.
He has a
He'll
cra-
never let it
he
go.
goes through with everything.
He'll never let it go.
If he says something, he's definitely a 100% to the T going through with it.
He'll take it to the grave. He
Yes,
probably
sir.
has like a contract where like if he dies, that Sports Illustrated can't even like post him or something
Oh
like
damn!
after he
Honestly,
dies.
he definitely would. He'd be like, he's like, even in my grave, y'all ain't getting shit.
Yeah, man. It's just like you had to really watch yourself, man, because he definitely hold it to you, man.
Damn, this
He took
dude.
getting spited real seriously. But back on the basketball side of things, so the Bulls, in the absence of Jordan, Jerry Krause finally gets his guy. Now, I think Jerry Krause is ecstatic at Jordan not being there anymore. Because remember, his whole thing is trying to prove that he's the one that's building the team. So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
goes and
yeah.
gets his guy, Kukoc, which
Mm-hmm.
is his dude that he swears is gonna be he's gonna be the savior or whatever.
Luka Doncic
And
before Luka Doncic.
yeah, Luka Doncic before Luka. And I guess the team takes off. They say Phil Jackson did his best coaching and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything's close. They're even in the playoffs. They have a lot of momentum going in. And then they play I think they were playing the Knicks, I believe. And
Mm-hmm.
then it was this was after Scottie Pippen had his best season statistically. He probably averaging like 22 points, the most he ever averaged. He was the leader of the team. Everyone felt relieved that Jordan's like overbearing presence. Not relieved as in like Jordan was a bad guy, but just like you feel like you can breathe a little bit more. You can actually enjoy yourself a little bit more because you don't really have that much pressure and expectation around you, and they're winning. And then they run into a little problem with Mr. Jackson, Phil Jackson, and Scottie Pippen when he decides to have Kukoc take the last shot instead of Pippen. And
Mm-hmm.
Pippen basically says that like I'm the leader of this team. You would have never done this to Jordan. There's no way you're telling Kukoc to take a shot over Jordan. I'm like replacing Jordan basically, and you're telling me to inbound the ball. Like, what are you saying to me right now? So he decides not to go in the game. How do you feel
Mm-hmm.
about that? Do you think that that's something he deserves to like feel spited about?
See, um, I can understand like
Mm-hmm.
being like angry. Like I agree 100% that since you have been leading the team, you definitely deserve to like take the final. Like you deserve to be trusted to take the final shot. You know what I
Especially
mean?
in the playoffs, right?
You definitely have. You have met. Yeah, 100% the playoffs. You have all the credentials. You have had the past 2 seasons. You have been freaking rocking people. All right, and then and then now you're leading the team without Jordan. You're not just the second best. Now you are the best, and you're still trying to elevate everybody else, and you're elevating your own
Mm-hmm.
game too. But I believe sitting out was the dumbest decision possible because at the end of the
Selfish.
day, there's 5 players on the court, not just one.
Yeah. And his biggest
Like,
problem was that he was told to inbound the ball, so he effectively was not wouldn't even be like a decoy, wouldn't even be like a part of the play, basically.
hmm but then
But
then again,
Phil's
can't you take pride in that, knowing that you are like a good passer, so you won't screw up passing the ball to somebody
yeah, see, that's how
because that
Phil
happens a
saw it,
lot of
but
times.
from like the ego of like of the athlete or something, he won't see it that way. He'll see it as in like you're telling me like you don't even want me on the floor to take this last shot, like what? Like there's no way he would have done this to Jordan. And there's probably some truth to that, which is why people say he did his best coaching without Jordan, because there's certain things that even if it made more sense to do, you just couldn't do to Jordan, like telling him to inbound the ball during a playoff game for the last
Hmm.
shot. But like Phil's philosophy, Phil's like reasoning for that was that like during the season, I saw Kukoc make this exact shot multiple times late in games. Like
Exactly.
I,
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
he was almost sure that like the play would work,
They
but then
drew
there's
up the
also
play so
managing
many
the ego of
times.
somebody.
They drew up
Yeah,
the
like
play
you
so many times. He definitely can do it.
exactly like you can't drop a play for Kuzma to take the last shot. Like
Hmm.
when LeBron's just like, bro, I'm here. I'm not. Now there's a
Hmm.
difference between LeBron and Jordan. Like LeBron would give that shot up to Kuzma, but it had to be his decision. You can't draw it up as a coach. Like, hey, LeBron, like you inbound the ball. I don't even want you to like to even like think about shooting the shot. I'm gonna give it to this guy. So
Hmm.
I get both their strategies, but sitting out would like is a way that you could have like broken the team apart, which I think goes into the prowess of like coaching that Phil has to be able to keep the team together after such like that moment
Hmm.
happened. Because
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure on most teams with most coaches, that moment would like be the end of them. Like that would be the ruin of
Oh
them.
yeah,
Like your
definitely,
star
definitely.
player just not games you guys win without him. He feels slighted. The team feels like this guy's just some selfish dude. He just cares about himself. He doesn't even care about if we win. He just wants to take the last shot.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, that
Now,
that
what do you think would have happened if Kukoc missed the last shot?
I think that team truly would have been broken apart because of that. Like I think that would. I think there's no way Scottie Pippen continued to play if they lost off that happening.
No,
Yeah,
I think I agree because part of the reason why he even like decided to like you know how like in the locker room after like if they everyone talked, like I feel like
yeah,
that entire moment would have happened. He probably would have felt even more disrespected knowing that he gave somebody the last shot and then they missed it, because he would have been like,
exactly.
if you gave that to me, I would have made that 100,000%. So
Yeah.
that would have added to that.
And then one of the yes. So that's basically. I think we covered that.
Yeah,
But
no.
just the whole season away with Jordan away, one of the coolest moments I thought was when Scotty's wearing the tens and he's like during the timeout
Oh
and the camera's
yeah,
on him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he's in the air and like points to the logo, Jordan logo, like, "Hey man, come back, man! Like, come back, let's run it back." So like,
Told that boy to come
it
back.
there's this level of Scotty wanting to be his own made man, but then
Mhm.
knowing that like Jordan is like his Batman, and like they just do their best together, and they're gonna win as
Mhm.
much as they can together. And then
Mhm.
there's like this other thing where it's kind of like a bromance between the two of them because like out of everyone that like Jordan like is going crazy at or something like that, you can tell he's still fond and deeply respects the Rod. I mean Jordan. I mean I'm sorry, Pippen. Just by the
Mhm.
way, he just like even when you hear him talking about him, it seems like he's like raving over him and all that. The only
Mhm.
sour
Mhm.
moment that you've ever heard from them was when Pippen wasn't playing, basically when he sat out. But
Mhm.
besides that, like there's no like any critiques of Pippen. It's like Jordan truly understood his value, and I
Mhm.
think that let Pippen also understand Jordan's value to him and to like
100%.
them winning. So that was nice to see. It's pretty refreshing to see because like wouldn't you think that like Pippen people are like, oh yeah, Pippen's really good, but he's just in the shadows of Jordan. So like when he gets his shot, him wanting Jordan to come back, it shows a lot of like his character too. So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
I feel like it's real disrespectful. I like the thing that like Jordan said like right off the bat in the first episode. He's like, you don't talk Jordan without talking Pippen.
yeah, yeah. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm. I think that was most of this episode. The other like small things was, um, what's it called? The addition of Dennis Rodman. Then
Yeah. Well, let's not
then
gloss over Jordan coming back and old Stevie Kerr, man. Old feisty Kerr. The fight
good
in practice,
old
man.
Mr. Warriors boy.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my
little white
God.
boy that punched Jordan in his chest and got rocked in his face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir,
Yeah.
Mister. He really said, I'll fight when it comes down to it, even though I can't most of the time because I don't have the skills to back it up. But I'll still come at
Yeah.
you. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he said I'm very competitive, but like I know like I don't have like the talent to be Jordan or something like that. But
exactly.
he feels just as competitive as him. And this is why later on like they didn't really touch on this one, but in like the second to last championship that they had, Steve Kerr hits like the game. Well, Steve Kerr hits the game with like winning shot
Oh
basically
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
fall.
yeah. Michael's the one
And
that told him to do it.
yeah, and Jordan's the one that tells him that like I'm going to pass you the ball. And
Yeah,
I
no.
think that respect was planted when Steve Kerr stood up for himself like
Oh,
the three seasons
100%.
before.
Ooh, that's a smart,
Yeah.
smart.
Because then
I specifically
he's like,
remember
oh
it
yeah, this
too.
guy's a dog. Like he's cut out just like me. Like I can trust this guy because
I,
like push comes to shove. He's not gonna fold under it. He's gonna react to it. He's gonna stand up for himself.
I remember this moment. I've seen this clip so many times. Phil Jackson's like, "I, Michael, I want you to take the last shot." And Michael Jordan, he literally goes, he says, "Well, you know what, Phil? I don't feel real comfortable in these types of situations. Why don't we go with Steve?"
Oh
That's
yeah,
literally
yeah,
what he said. That's literally what he said.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
No,
boy,
no. Wait, what were you saying?
I said, and then the boy hits the shot too.
Oh yeah, you know that was a joke though, right?
What? The entire thing? He really didn't say that?
Wait, did you not get that? Was completely like
Wait, really?
satire. We're all laughing.
Ah, come on.
Yeah, that was a. You think Jordan would have said that and people would have let him live it down? That he was
Probably.
scared to take a shot and pass it to Steve Kerr? No, that was the story was that Jordan knew that they would come to double team him, and he knew that Steve would be wide open for that shot.
Oh,
And he told
okay.
them in a huddle, he told them like, "Hey man, like I'm gonna give you the shot. Like you be ready when I pass you the ball. Like
Oh, okay. Never
you better
mind.
be ready." And then it
I
was
did
like
not
Steve Kerr
expect
was like
that.
shitting his pants basically to like the whole way there. But then during the championship parade, when they were talking about
Yeah,
it,
yeah. That's what I
it
saw.
seemed
It.
like he was just like yeah. Jordan was scared, and like Phil was like, I'm gonna take it. It was like a joke, but it was
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like I thought that's
yeah.
actually what happened.
No, definitely not. That would have been a
God
huge
damn it.
asterisk on Jordan if he really was just scared of a big moment like that. Hey, but that proves that Steve Kerr's like goal in trying to like get people to think that worked. Like if you thought that, that means a lot of people probably thought that. Like some people, there's people
Hey.
thinking like, oh yeah, didn't Steve Kerr like save Jordan when he was scared or something like that? Yeah.
See, I didn't think Michael Jordan was scared. I just thought, like, you know, like, I do, I can kind of, like, think that what you said definitely happened. Like,
Yeah.
hey, man, you should just let me believe that shit, bro. Actually,
Definitely not, man.
I would have gotten clowned. Hey, yo, what the fuck? You think Steve Kerr better than Michael Jordan? You dumbass, stupid. What the fuck? What you got a podcast for if you dumb as hell?
Have you seen the memes? Like, there's an entire gallery of them. There's like 10 of them, like just like perfect Jordan memes that have come out of this doc.
Oh,
Like, and
yeah,
one of
yeah,
them
yeah.
is like Gary Payton talking about how he was locking down Jordan. He's gonna lock him up, and then like Jordan's just looking at the tablet and just watching like Gary Payton talk, and he's like looking at him. Then when he finishes, he just starts laughing. And he's like, "The glove," and he's like, "That man's lying. He wasn't doing anything."
That man's lying.
that that was hilarious. Like, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The fact that this stuff still lasts to this day, like Gary Payton is still talking about it, like, yeah, man, I would have locked down Jordan if they let me. And then like Jordan is like, come on, man, come on, no one, you don't even believe that.
Oh my goodness. Damn, we're already 36 minutes into this. It's fine. I don't really care how long we take. But
Yeah.
then we can move on to episode 8. You're gonna have to
Oh wait, bro, we've been on episode 8.
Wait, we have?
Yeah, the Steve Kerr fight and Scotty Kukoc, that's all episode 8.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. I don't know why. I thought we were still on episode 7.
You want to talk about the 72 wins, Bulls?
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
Man, 72. Did that they beat the Lakers record, right? It was the Lakers had 70 or something?
Yeah, I think they had like 69, and then they were the first team with 72.
Damn.
And they won the championship, so that's what really counts at Warriors.
Wait. How much did the Warriors take?
They won 73 games, but they didn't win the championship. So
damn.
None of it matters.
Wait, did nobody beat that?
The 73 win record?
Yeah.
No, that was just like 3 years ago. That's the one where LeBron came back from 3-1.
What about the what was the Bucks last was it 20?
No, it wasn't close to that.
2018 to 2019 season record.
There hasn't been anything close to that after. Even with KD.
They had 60.
Yeah, the 73 wins and 72 wins is like monumental. Like it's the equivalent of like scoring. It's kind of like it's one of those legendary stories like scoring 100 points because it's like 72 games out of 82 games. Like you lost 10 games throughout the whole season.
Oh yeah, damn.
Or like you lost 9 games throughout 82 games. Like that's crazy.
I wonder if anybody will have a single-digit loss record ever.
Yeah, that was what the Warriors did, except they didn't win the championship because they lost 9 games.
They did. What was the
But the Bulls actually did it and won the championship, and so like that's what really mattered. And Jordan made sure he reminded us of that too. He thinks he's slick. He was like, yeah. He said, what did he say? He was like, it don't matter without the ring or something like that. So after like the playoffs, it was just like it doesn't matter without. There's nothing. It don't mean a thing without the ring. That was like their motto and stuff like that.
God damn, this dude. He's one of those dudes that will like he will forever hold something against you. He's exactly like me. We're petty as shit, bro.
Facts. You got the Jordan syndrome.
Hey. It better not be those shit talk. It's my podcast, all right?
I said Jordan syndrome, man. If anything, you should let the GOAT.
Okay. I mean, I know I'm a GOAT, but...
All right.
Whoa. You basically just did.
Nah, man.
Nah,
you said you
fuck
one
you,
trick.
man,
Did you see the whole George Karl thing, or George Karl just like walking past Jordan like when he sees him at a restaurant, even though they were like they knew each other.
Oh yeah,
and he was just like, we're gonna like he was just like shit talking to him and all that.
This dude.
Well, Jordan, it goes to the coaches, and the next day Jordan came back and dropped 47 points, I believe.
This dude holds a grudge against everybody, bro.
Everybody, yep. You. Did your grandmother say something about me? What your grandmother say? Okay, take this 50 piece. It's just like it doesn't
I
matter.
bet. Now you out the playoffs, homie. Get on
Yep.
home.
Don't matter. It don't matter which. It don't matter who said it. As long as he feels slighted, he's gonna make you feel it.
This dude does not care, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What else happened in
And this
episode
goes
8?
into another one of his finals matchups. Like people really have nothing to say when they're like, "Oh, we didn't play anybody." He played Sean. He played Sean Kemp and Gary Payton on one team. Like that. Like come on now.
What team was
And
that?
he never saw a game 7. Like let's stop this. Like stop this notion that he was just playing some plumbers or something. Like come on. This is like
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Wait, what team were they on?
The Seattle SuperSonics.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot about that. That was supposed to be a really bad matchup, right? For the Sonics.
You know, it was actually a pretty good matchup because they were like a young team, and they were like they had 2 Hall of Famers with Sean Kemp and Gary Payton, and Gary Payton actually won the championship with the Heat in 2006
Oh damn, okay.
with D Wade, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Sean like he's a bona fide Hall of Famer. He's like one of the best defensive players like in NBA history. His nickname is the Glove for like because he just got so many steals and all that.
Oh, I
He's
didn't know
like
that.
great defensively, but he was like one of the best point guards in NBA history. And him with Sean Kemp, like probably the most athletic player to play basketball. Like it was crazy.
Damn, they really can't talk shit about about Jordan anymore. Then
Yeah, people either they don't know or they just really hate it. And in that year, I think Sean Kemp averaged like what 24 points or something. Like it was something crazy. Like he's a great player. Like 24 points and 9 assists.
yeah,
With
no,
like
I think it's mostly just because people don't know. Because
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of Hall of Famers when it comes to that time period.
Yeah.
1990s was packed.
Yeah, there's no shortage of that. It's just when people can't argue like resumes, they'll just argue like circumstantial stuff, like competition and stuff like that, because they know like nothing can touch being like 6-0 in the finals while retiring in the peak of your prime. Like 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 those 2 years off, those were probably 2 more championships, and we can't for sure say that, but like even if they weren't championships, those would have been records broken, like more points. Remember we were talking about how he was number 4 on the all-time scoring list, and I'm like, yeah, but he retired right in the middle of his career. Imagine he played those 2 seasons, like
Oh
he'd
damn!
probably be number
Imagine
1 on the
that.
all-time scoring list,
Oh yeah, that's true.
or number
That's
2,
true.
because he
That's
didn't play
true.
2 years of his prime. And mind you, this isn't the only time he retires in his career. If you look at it, after this 98 season, after the last dance, he retires again and comes back and plays for Wizards. So that's like another season he took off. So guess how many like points those are going into
Oh
his all
damn.
time rank. He probably would have been the number 2 or number 1 all time scorer in the league. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just bringing that up for context. I'm not trying to give him like credit for something he did, but it's still like context. Like you got to remember this guy only played like what 15 seasons or something.
Damn. That's a
Yeah.
that's a
And
definitely
LeBron
had.
is in his 16th or 17th year right now, and he
Yeah.
has like what at least 4 or 5 more years to go. So
Yeah.
there's a different like
LeBron is what right now? Third?
LeBron is third, yes.
Okay. Who else do we have
Yeah.
left? Who do we got? The 2 other players left. Obviously Kareem, right?
Kareem, and we have what was the second? I'm sorry, I'll look it up. My mind just goes blank sometimes, especially like when we're on air.
Trying to guess it. It's
Yeah.
gotta be like, damn, who is this? Hakeem?
Oh no, it's Karl Malone number 1, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
no, I'm sorry, Karl Malone number 2. It's Hakeem. Well, it's not. What did I say, Hakeem? It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 1,
Okay.
and Karl Malone number 2.
Okay. Karl Malone played for what?
He played for the Jazz, who Jordan also beat, by the way. So
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
damn. People literally don't know what they're talking about then.
exactly. The second all-time scorer. That's who he beat. But people just want to just pretend like that's just not like something. He
These
beat him
questions.
in the midst of his prime. Him and John Stockton, the greatest point guard of all time, with the most like dominant power forward of all time. He beat them in their prime.
You know what they say? I can pass that bitch like Stockton. This song is so overplayed.
I see you've been on TikTok.
Oh no. You do not. Hell no. I knew that song way before it got on TikTok. All right. Shut the hell up. Mohamed showed me freaking Mr. Jack Harlow back in freaking senior year of high school. All right.
All right, sure.
You know, get the. You know what? Shut the fuck up, all right? Once we done social distancing, I'm about to drop buckets on your ass, all right? I'm gonna be Jordan coming back from retirement, okay?
All right, see you like in 3 years, bro.
I bet that's how long I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna come back, rusty as hell, old head. I'm gonna dunk on your ass, all right?
Yeah, all right.
Give you a little 1-2 over your head.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
You're gonna be finished. You're gonna be finished. Anyway, moving on. Is there anything? What else was there from this episode?
I think we covered
That was basically it.
Yeah, it ended off with him just clowning, basically clowning Gary Payne for just going off and saying like he would have done this and all of this. And then, yeah, man, the memes are just what's left.
Just the memes.
I wish we had visuals where we could just like put stuff on, but it's like, I guess.
I think people will probably know what the memes are.
Yeah, there's a lot of them too.
Anyway, I guess we can.
People are using them. Like I see on Twitter, people use them, and I'm like, it's like people that like have no kind of connection to basketball. It's just like
I hate that shit,
like,
bro.
They're just so perfect.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, I'll send them to you too if I can find. I found the actual gallery of them.
Oh no.
So I'll send this to you right now. You could go through them. My favorite one on what I just sent you is the third one. Third, fourth, and then the last three, basically the third, fourth, and the last three. That's how many there are. I sent it to you on Instagram. So
oh my goodness, Jordan, this is
so third one, yeah. And then the last three,
the third from the last with freaking what's his face, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, the one with Seinfeld was just what was he doing?
Oh my god, that was probably the moment when Seinfeld was telling him to what's it called just continue passing to Jordan or some shit.
Yeah, isn't the second to last one like doesn't that fit so many things? Like
it really does, dude. Holy shit. One of the pictures reminds me of a freaking picture I have. I'm trying to find it real quick. Damn. I've gotta find it. Where is it? It should be right over. I'm pretty sure did I have a bald head at this time?
Did you cut your hair again?
Yes, I did.
I saw that and I was like, wait, hold up, he's wearing a mask, so that has to be new.
You didn't realize? Oh, okay. I was thinking.
I realized, but it was just like, wait, what? Because I was like, he's wearing a mask, so it has to be new.
Yeah, exactly. I knew people wouldn't realize if I posted what's it called, just a regular photo myself. Yeah. But I put a mask on. I recorded a video too, and I was like, all right, let's see what people say.
Wait, is that picture you sent? Is that real? Why do you look photoshopped?
It's from a video, and it's just a screenshot from a video.
You definitely look so photoshopped. None of you look naturally placed there. Are you like fakers of them? Like, are you making up these pictures? Are you a real person?
No. I'm telling you, this is a video.
You just stood and just took a picture in front of like the wall or something, and you just placed yourself in this setting.
No, 100%.
Yo, I swear to God, this should be like the cover for like the episode, bro. If you could like, inject the picture, because I know I'm not tripping. You don't look like a real person here. You just look like
shut up.
Cut out.
For anybody,
and you're wearing jeans, and everyone else is wearing like shorts and sweatpants. You don't.
No, look at the dude in the back. The dude in the background has jeans on.
Oh, he does. It looks like he's sweating.
Yeah, this dude always has jeans on. No, this was the one day that they were just like, all right, guys, you want to go ball up? And I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to sweat today. And then they're like, oh, we'll just shoot around. I'm like, okay, fine. And then we ended up playing a game of 21 and shit. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta go off. I hit some crazy shots that day. But I think me and him, we went one-on-one real quick. And I think I missed my shot or something like that. And it was a video. So he missed my shot, and I looked at the girl. I'm like, yeah, stop recording and shit. And he looked at me like that, and it was a perfect screenshot. I was like, damn, you gotta do me like that. Yeah, but they don't know, bro. They never record when I be making shots. They only record when I.
They don't know about you yet. You gotta show them.
Oh no, they definitely know. They definitely know that I'm good now.
No, I'm talking about our audience. Like if they ever come.
Oh, the audience. I guess I need to record some highlights then, right?
Yeah, I'll make the highlight reel.
We're going to record some game highlights real quick. I'm gonna have to hire a professional photographer just to follow me around, just a videographer, follow me around, record me real quick. Let me just watch me cross over that dude real quick. Like completely miss it. Yo, make sure you cut that out in the next highlight, all right?
I remember one time I was at a park when I was younger, and this dude just wanted to just keep recording highlights. Like it was so bad. He was trying so hard to cross people and like record it. It was just like, bruh.
Before we make this episode go on for like 3 years,
yeah.
Let's go for ending statement.
It was nice seeing you guys bye.
What is your ending statement?
Who are we gonna hate today?
I was gonna say let's hate on the media.
We gotta get a specific person, man. We have to make it personal though. Who do we hate? What about Gary Payton, man, or George Carl? I think those are 2 picks right now.
I bet. Fuck you, Gary Payton, piece of shit.
Fuck you, George Carl.
God
White
damn.
crackers. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and on that beat, fuck you too, freaking Jerry Krause, piece of shit again. 15 times.
Jerry Krause, you'll never get over this. Fuck you, man.
Never get over how much of a piece of shit he is. Anyway, alright guys, we'll see you guys next week. Deuces.